Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good, happy to hear. So, basically, today I'm here to talk about connection and energy. Every day we go through trials and tribulations. In fact, I've had quite a hard week myself, lots of summatives and different things. I'm sure students know the struggle. But I truly believe that connection and energy to both the people and the things around us is one of the best ways that we can cope with that and live our best lives. So I'm a big fan of mottos. They're a great way to remember big things in small sentences. And so my motto for connecting with people is learn to love people and use things and not the other way around. First off, I just want to ask you, are you connecting? I don't mean to your phones, but I mean to the people around you. Your siblings, your parents, your spouses, your loved ones. Are you connecting to them? And I mean really connecting, asking them, how are you? Not in the trivial way that we do every day in which everyone says, I'm fine, although their lives could be crumbling before them, but a meaningful way in which you really take a vested interest in their well-being. So with that, who can say that they are connected to people? Good. I'm happy to hear. It's a great way to, it's a great sense of well-being. And then I want to share a story with you. So my family, or more specifically my siblings, were really spaced out in terms of the years that we were born. My oldest brother was born in 1989, my second brother in 1993, and I was born in 2002. That means that my oldest brother is 13 years older than me, and my second brother is 9 years older than me. So you end up having a family where everyone comes from different times and ends up having different views. And so, since my brother is 13 years older than me, when I was 6, he had just turned 19, finished high school, and was off to uni. My brother went to the UK and was studying medicine, and if you know anything about medicine, it's quite a long course. So my brother was gone from the time I was 6 and didn't come back to Kenya full term until I was 12. And again, when I was 9, my second brother was 18, and he went to university in Australia. And he also didn't come back until I was around 12 or 13. So you have a period of 4 years in which it's just my parents and I, and where I started to have a single child mentality where I felt I was the only one in the family. And because I didn't have any brothers to play with, I ended up having toys and PlayStations and different things like that, and those became my way of having fun. And now, it's harmless when you think about it in the moment, but now that I look back, I realize that those games I played and those toys I had ended up becoming the means by which I connected to the world, or connected to what I thought was the world. Now, fast forward to when I'm 12 or /13, and both my brothers are back in the house. And now, I have to adjust again to a new dynamic. That ended up being a really long, hard process in which my brothers and I ended up having various arguments about various things, because I ended up valuing my objects and my other things over my family. And so the question comes, how do we connect? Well, we connect by asking each other how we are. We connect by putting aside the objects and the objects that we love, and embracing the people in our lives. Because I can tell you that there are certain decisions I have made, certain things that I've done that if I had been willing to fully accept my family and not listen to what I thought was the truth from different places, I would be in a completely different place in my life. And so now when I talk about energy, I mean the interaction between ourselves and our environment. Whereas you can describe connection as the interaction between ourselves and another human being, energy is the interaction between ourselves and our environment. And that's summarized by J. Cole, who's one of my favorite rappers. He says, maybe life happens like tides. 1 minute you're low and feeling shallow, then all of a sudden you rise. Just ride the wave. And that's truly a policy that I take in my life. Let me tell you another story. Before I came to ISK, I used to go to a school called Kenton College. It's a British primary school here in Kenya. I went there from the age of 6 to 12, and in 2014 I transferred over to ISK, where I entered the 7th grade. Let's just say that in Kenton, kids can be cruel. So I ended up being the target of quite a lot of hazing and different things. I was quite a soft kid, so I suppose I was an easy target. And I ended up having a lot of anger and resentment against people because I had never really understood why they would come from me. I had never done anything wrong. And so that anger that I held and that negativity that I held, I kept bottled up inside for such a long time. I carried it with me from the earliest days of Kenton all the way to the earliest days of ISK, all the way until the end of 8th grade, where my anger and my hatred reached a climax, and I exploded. And I remember the night that that anger and that hatred finally dissipated. It was the last day of 8th grade, and I was just really relieved that I'd made it this far. I ended up crying that night because I had realized that all the pain and all the suffering that I'd gone through had ended up leading me to where I was now, a place where I could really grow into the human being that I wish to be. So then my question became, why didn't I realize earlier that the things I was going through before and the things that I was experiencing before ended up leading me to where I was? Now, my second brother is a big lover of books, and at the age of 12, he gave me a book called The Great Gatsby, which is a great book. I recommend it to all of you. And the book basically talks about a man named Jay Gatsby who loved a girl, and she left him, and then he then later finds her and tries to recover that lost time that he had. But then eventually, in the end, the moral of the story makes you realize that time continues and things happen as they do, and that holding on to that energy and that past ends up doing more harm than it does good. Actually, if you watch the show Avatar: The Legend of Korra, there's this scene where Zuko says that you can hold on to energy, but after a certain point, that energy breaks you apart. And that's why J. Cole says that you just have to ride the wave. Life constantly gives us twists and turns, ups and downs, and that's what gives life its meaning. You don't know pleasure is only important because we know what it's like to feel pain. We enjoy the warmth because we know what it's like to feel cold. And that's why feeling all these different emotions, anger, pain, and so on, are so important to who we are, because they allow us to better embrace the happy times and the goodness that we all experience later on in life. And so now you ask, yeah, Waiyaki, that's great. I suppose that's really cool information, but what am I supposed to do with that information? Put it into practice is what I say. Connect with people. Look to your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your friends. Connect with them. Truly look at them and ask them, how are you? Taking a vested interest in their well-being. And asking them, are you okay? Are you handling things well? Do you need any help? Because now those questions lay a foundation for a much healthier and richer relationship between you and that person, and enrich both of your lives. And for those of you who are holding on to things, let it go. Life is hard enough. The more things you carry, the heavier the journey, the harder the journey becomes. And so I'd like to leave you with this. Life will always be a struggle, and things will always be hard. But sometimes a problem shared is a problem halved. Thank you.